Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Before starting this video, I must tell you two things. Number one, this video is the first one that I will try to speak in English. Así que, mi amigos, si tú hablas español, solamente ayúdame activando los subtítulos que vienen en la parte de aquí abajito, ¿vale? Number two, my English speaking siblings, I apologize for not speaking your language well. I sincerely want to use this video to practice my English and learn your language. So, if I am wrong about any word, please correct me, okay? Ready? Let's start. Now, my brothers, what's the video about? Here in Mexico, there are many videos about things that foreigners like or admire about Mexico, such as its culture, its food, etc. But I want to start this section of videos in English telling to my American brothers 5 things that a Mexican admires about this great country called the United States of America. Number 1, industry and economy. Our roots lead to Rome, Microsoft, Google, YouTube, Ford, all them Yankees. Let's start with the best known of the United States. Frankly, in Mexico, one of the best known topics of the northern neighbor is economy, and not it is for less because the imports and exports between both countries last year amount to $308 billion. So in Mexico, it is normal that every day in the news we see information about the United States, its economy, its politics, etc. Because we know it affects us. It is as if in your business, your main client or who sells you things for your business do poorly because it obviously interests you. Here in Mexico, it is normal to monitor the change from the peso to the dollar, many even save in dollars, and it is like not talking about the United States if we talk about the economy. The United States is the commercial power of the world, although I must admit that sometimes we are impressed to see the lifestyle of many people as they spend millions of dollars. In a few words, for me, for example, I am impressed to see the quality of life of Americans. Good houses, good cars, technology, luxuries, etc. is amazing. Number 2, the entertainment capital of the world. What do they have in common? Netflix, Hollywood, Michael Jackson, or Disneyland? The answer is United States. In Mexico, we see the United States as the quintessential entertainment capital. For example, if a Mexican thinks about the content he consumes, much of it is from the United States. His rock is great with bands like Metallica, the Eagles, the Doors, among others mark the childhood and adolescence of many Mexicans. Many others grew up with the illusion of someday going to Disneyland or seeing Hollywood, where epic movies have been made that have marked our lives, as The Good Father, Back to the Future, superheroes like Batman or Superman, or the Avengers. In a few words, it's impressive. The American machinery entertainment is a giant locomotive, is a colossus, and that frankly is to be admired. Number 3, language. Sometimes the small details are the ones that count the most. For example, in Mexico, it is extremely common to use words like okay, bye, brasier, record, closet, that is armario in Spanish, and we don't even realize that they are words in English, and that not counting others that are in English but we pass them to Spanish, as beef stick and we say bistec, cocktail that we say cocktail, meeting that we say meeting, or stress that we only say stress. And this has a lot to do with the point I just mentioned about film and music. We are often so bombarded by their culture that we end up adopting part of their language and customs, such as Halloween or how about the Super Bowl. There is nothing else gringo than the Super Bowl, and many of the Mexican buy snacks to watch a football game. And although the vast majority of the Mexicans do not know how to speak in English, but the vast majority will know English words. Continuing with the previous point, I can tell you that the Mexican and Americans have more in common than we think, although it is true that we are physically different, or different cultural heritage. British culture is very different from Spanish. But over the years, the ties between Mexicans and Americans have become very strong. It would be impossible to imagine a United States without Mexicans, simply because the southern states were once Mexican states, or because it is currently estimated that just over 36 million of Mexicans live in the United States. On the other hand, it would be impossible to imagine a Mexico without the United States, because North American culture has also permeated the Mexican culture, in things as basic as hot dogs, the way of dressing, or that very likely any Mexican has a relative living in the United States. Personally, I believe that if Mexico and the United States walk in the same direction, wow, the world would see an extremely strong and solid people. Number 5, technology. Last and not least, I must mention technology. We all know that Mexico is a developing country. However, the United States is a developed country. Just see that it is the first world economy. It has the most powerful army in the world, and it is one of the countries with the most technological development in the world and one with the most patents registered in the world. However, it is very common to hear in Mexico that the United States invented this or that, which if you require some special medical attention, you must go to the United States because there are the best doctors and specialists. There is the best technology. It is worth mentioning that for many of us, the United States is a source of inspiration because when we see how very young boys put new super innovative business or as they invent new technologies from a very young age, many of us also want to leave our mark as Mexican. So that in a few words, personally as a Mexican, I believe that the United States is a world power from which we could learn a lot to improve as a country and as a people. The United States is a country of migrants that has known how to make the best of its inhabitants, because finally a country is the reflection of its inhabitants. And I think that if the United States is a great country, it is because the effort, work and love of its people. So to say goodbye, I can only say God bless the United States and someday we will be citing your country. I see you in the next video. Remember, I love you so much. Good life, bye.